My name is Anya Rosenblum, and I decided to combine my passions for medicine and business to create International Disability Medical Support, a nonprofit with a focus on sending medical supplies to developmentally disabled and underdeveloped countries. So for a little bit about me, I've been a volunteer at Harmony Theater, a theater for adults with developmental disabilities, for about 3 years now, and through my time there, I've been truly inspired, and I've also understood a lot about community connection and the importance of being together. Additionally, I've learned a lot about people with developmental disabilities and the hardships that the community faces on a daily basis, specifically medical hardships, with some of those being a 300% chance of developing issues with sleep, sight, and hearing. And the statistic is not really discussed, and there's little disability advocacy work from some of the largest medical organizations, even though it is such a large problem. And because of the higher chance of developing medical issues, the developmentally disabled become a high-risk population. And like many other high-risk populations during COVID, the organization I volunteer for, Harmony Theater, had to make a shift to a virtual program. And through my time with the developmentally disabled, I've noticed three main pillars in the community, being communication, concentration, and cooperation. However, when we went virtual, those three pillars had a little bit of problems, and we weren't able to communicate, concentrate, and cooperate to the fullest extent. And concentration was especially hard because of the many sounds happening from all across the screen with so much noise happening at once, and that's what inspired my project. So I knew I wanted to create some sort of nonprofit with some sort of donation component or research or even raising awareness. However, Virtual Harmony truly inspired me and that idea of concentration, and I knew I wanted to craft something that could specifically help with that. So I decided to create an assistive listening device, and ultimately the goal of the nonprofit is to create other medical devices, but for right now, I've created our assistive listening device, and our assistive listening device has 4 main factors that make it unique. The first being noise canceling, so we drown out any outside distractions, helping with our concentration problem. Additionally, the microphone helps with concentration, as we have direct amplification from a speaker, even in a group setting. Additionally, it's easy to use. We're all in the same language, so we avoid any language barrier, nothing with words. And additionally, it's inexpensive, so it's really accessible to anyone. So I got to building it, and this top photo was our reference photo on the very first day working on it. And this photo over here is now, is now the finished circuit board. And additionally, this is it with wiring. So our device is compatible with an 8-volt battery. You don't need to worry about network connection or plugging anything in, which is super important internationally. Over here, you can see a little microphone. And here we have our audio output, and that's going to work with a 3.5 headphone jack, 3.5 millimeter, which is just the standard size. So those Tangled headphones you have, those are perfect for this project. And you can also connect to your own headphones, and you don't have to worry about fitting in size for every individual. So for some cost analysis, each device is looking to be about $66 for a first prototype. Over here you can see what everything is, how many are required for each, the unit price, and how much per device, and that's going to be about $47 in parts for the device. And then for fabrication and testing, it's looking to be about $19. So that's the time it takes to make it and test it. And then over here we just have some more progress photos. Sorry about that. So next we have just some comparison. So $66 for our production cost and about $700 for a comparative device, with ours being about 90% less than any comparative device. And not only is it priced less, but it's also more accessible to our population. So I decided to compile a SWOT analysis, which is our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And these were just some questions about the nonprofit as a whole, with one of them being international, where are you going, what are you doing? And the ultimate goal is to send our devices internationally to, I've gathered some contacts in both Nepal and Cambodia to hopefully send the device to. And additionally, over here, we have our next step of the project, and that's the question of reliability. And the answer to that is we're working through 3 different phases, being prototype 1, refining that, and then our next step, which is the printed circuit board. And a printed circuit board is essentially the building block for any electronic, and that's just going to help us with manufacturing. It's going to be much easier to make, cutting the cost times down. And additionally, it's much smaller, so you can hold it in the palm of your hand or put it in your pocket rather than a big board like we had in previous slides. So this not only is going to make it easier, but it's also going to make it cheaper. And down here I have some competitive analysis and a business plan if you were interested. So for our prototype 2, this is just some future financials, some pro forma. And I have a similar chart, everything it's going to be, with unit over here. And so our unit device is looking to be about $25. So it's all the same parts. However, as we upgrade the size of the nonprofit, we're going to be getting more at once. So our unit's going to be much smaller. And operating is also going to go down because that PCB really simplifies the fabricating and testing process. So it's going to be about $47 or $48, much closer. So to compare the two, it's going to be about a 30% price decrease in prototype 2, even though we've included the new component of a PCB board. So for an investment, it's going to be I'm looking for about a $500 investment, which includes $350 for parts, $50 for headphones, and $100 for a printed circuit board. And I'm also just looking for some recycled headphones to really help more sustainability rather than buying new ones. And if you were interested in helping, if you go on the Shop CEL website and head over to Student Projects, I'll be there and you can make a donation. And you can donate any amount over here. However, the $66 is that number I discussed in this presentation for creating the exact prototype 1. Thank you so much for watching.